Almost 2 years to the exact date is the infamous Markieff Morris vs. Jokic brawl. And if you guys need a refresher, this is where Morris at half court kind of gave Jokic a sidearm check to the stomach, then turned his back and got steamrolled by the Joker. In the aftermath of this brawl, Morris kind of tried to play victim, acting like he didn't do anything wrong, he didn't instigate it, and Jokic was just a madman looking to take his head off. Of course, not sure, and Morris was obviously lying. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do we care about a shove that happened over 2 years ago on a random Tuesday? Thanks for asking. It's because before the season started, Markieff Morris and his brother, they were on, I think, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson's podcast, talking pretty bold about Jokic being a sucker and how he, quote, was gonna get his.
You had an incident with Jokic. What did you do? You hit him on the screen, or you
fouled him?
You fouled. You took a foul on him, and then another said you're running back down court. He takes a cheap shot.
Sucker shot. That's what we call him.
He took a sucker shot at you, but really messed you up. Tell everybody what you went through, because I didn't even know until I was reading like the depths of the shit you had to go through.
So the shot was a little hard. It was like a little whiplash.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the B350. Catch me off guard, he really ain't do shit. But, you know, at the time I was a little off. It was more so with the Miami Heat. They was just trying to protect me from, you know, I guess me from myself. But I was cleared to play like 2 weeks after that. They just held me out. So it really wasn't one of those things where I was like injured or in pain or anything like that. Took a sucker shot. It's like when you get they call it snuck.
In the club.
Catch you, yeah, and he snuck me, yeah. It was a sucker shot. I mean, you gonna get his though. No trip.
I think we know at this point NBA players can go on for hours and hours on a podcast talking tough and acting hard. And it's pretty easy to do that when Nikola Jokic, the 300-pound Serbian, isn't in the room with you. Now, very few players, I mean very few players, have that same energy from a podcast on the actual court. That's why I found it pretty ironic Friday, Markieff Morris, only hours before the game, was ruled out mysteriously with some non-COVID illness. Now, what this game would have been is Jokic and Morris' first matchup since the shove and since those comments. And even funnier than Morris having some unknown illness, he wasn't even on the bench at this game to at least face Jokic man-to-man. Now, in fairness to Markieff Morris, at this point in his career, his overall play wouldn't have made much difference Friday night, as the only thing not going Denver's way that night was their god-awful floor with that yellow fruit roll-up line down the middle. And surprising to me, Denver's court wasn't actually the worst court I saw on Friday night. That's got to go to the Bulls, the Heat, one of those teams that had a completely trash court. And looking at Jokic this game, an absolute masterclass. 33 points, 14 boards, 9 assists, only missing 2 shots in the process. And watching him versus Luka, look, we understand both these players are great players, I would say top 5 players. But the way they dominate in different ways, I can't help but say Jokic's style, the way he dominates, is a little bit more team-friendly and enjoyable as a viewer. As unlike Luka, he isn't the ball 24/7, doesn't take wild heat checks, and is way less turnover prone. And looking at Denver's overall roster, the players alongside Jokic, if they get the ball, their first thought is make the right play and the smart play. Compared to Dallas's players, who their first thought off the bat is find Luka, or secondly, shoot this shot because I'm not getting it back. Again, both players are great players. I think Jokic's overall style is much more conducive to winning the long term than Dallas with Luka. And for Denver so far this year, the scary thing about them, they actually look better than last year. In a limited sample size, their defensive rating actually is better than their offensive rating. It's one of the rare times a championship team comes back stronger, no hangover, more motivated and focused to repeat the following season. And hopefully down the line, Markieff Morris somehow gets healthy, doesn't have some mysterious illness that causes him to miss the game versus Jokic after talking trash all off season. So that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.